There are moments in life when you need to stop and look at your patterns. What do you do every day without thinking? Where does your time go? Your energy, your money? Because in the silence between routines and the quiet of your unspoken habits lies the difference between staying stuck and becoming someone entirely new. And what makes the difference is often not what you do, but what you stop doing. That's where wealth begins. Not just financial wealth, but personal power, clarity, and freedom. And that's exactly what we're exploring today. But before we dive deep, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Tap that like button to let the algorithm know you're serious about changing your life. Drop a comment below and tell me what habit you think might be secretly sabotaging your growth. And most importantly, check out the link in the pinned comment. It leads to something that has already transformed the lives of thousands and could do the same for you if you take the first step. Let's be honest, most people spend their lives imitating the wrong models. They follow trends. They mimic influencers. They take advice from people who are loud, not wise. But rich people, truly wealthy individuals, don't play that game. They operate differently. Their strength isn't in what they flaunt, it's in what they quietly avoid. While others are chasing, they're observing. While others are reacting, they're strategizing. And that's why they win in the long run. One of the first things rich people don't do is waste time explaining themselves to everyone. They don't justify their dreams. They don't beg for approval. They don't share every step of their journey just to be validated by people who wouldn't understand their vision anyway. They know where they're going. They protect their energy. They understand that focus is a currency. And every time you explain yourself to someone who isn't even on the same path, you lose a piece of that currency. They move in silence. They let the results speak. That kind of inner stability is a superpower, and they don't chase comfort. That might sound strange in a world addicted to convenience, but wealth isn't born in the comfort zone. The rich don't reach for the easiest option. They reach for the one that makes them grow. Whether it's waking up early, saying no to unnecessary spending, or choosing to delay gratification, they do it not because it's fun, but because it's necessary. And in that space between what feels good and what builds character, they become unshakable. They also don't live for the short-term thrill. They aren't impulsive. They don't make decisions based on a single emotional high or low. They know how to zoom out. They know how to play the long game. And if you're constantly caught up in the next little dopamine hit, whether from social media or random spending, ask yourself, is this keeping me small? Because rich people understand something critical. Every yes to a short-term distraction is a no to long-term excellence. There's another pattern they avoid religiously: toxic relationships. They don't keep people around who drain them. They don't tolerate negativity just to keep the peace. They cut off drama like it's a disease, because it is. It infects your thinking. It limits your potential. Rich people surround themselves with people who stretch them, not shrink them. People who challenge their ideas, not criticize their ambition. And that environment changes everything. They also don't let failure define them. If they fall, they don't stay down. They don't throw a pity party. They analyze. They adapt. They pivot. They know failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the data you need to reach it. If you're scared of failing, it's probably because you think failing means you're not enough. But rich people don't take it personally. They take it as feedback. And here's something else they refuse to do. They don't spend their lives trying to look rich. It sounds obvious, but it's a trap many people fall into. Flashy cars, overpriced clothes, constant spending to keep up appearances. Rich people don't need to prove they're rich. They're too busy building wealth to perform it. They invest, they own, they accumulate assets, not attention. And if you're spending more time curating an image than building your value, you're playing a losing game. Now this might sting, but rich people don't play victim. They don't blame the economy, their upbringing, or external circumstances for where they are. Even when life hits them hard, they look in the mirror and ask, What can I do differently? What's in my control? That mindset doesn't come from privilege. It comes from choosing to own your life, no matter what. Because responsibility is the doorway to power, and that's the point of this video. Not just to list what rich people don't do, but to remind you that your habits, your mindset, your standards, they matter. They shape your outcomes. And if you want to change your life, you don't need more motivation. You need to stop doing what doesn't serve you. So if you're ready to stop chasing validation, comfort, and distractions, if you're ready to protect your energy, play the long game, and take radical ownership of your future, then you're already on the path. Now all that's left is consistency. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that cuts through the noise. Like this video if you felt the truth in it. Comment below with the one thing you're letting go of starting today. And make sure you click the link in the pinned comment, because that step might be the most important one you take today. They say, success leaves clues. But just as important as what the rich and powerful do is what they actively avoid. The most successful individuals in the world didn't get there just by grinding harder or waking up earlier. They made decisions daily to eliminate behaviors that drain time, energy, focus, and wealth. If you've been stuck chasing the next productivity hack, wondering why others seem to get ahead while you feel like you're running in circles, this message is for you. This is where the shift begins. Before we dive deep into this truth, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the like button if you're serious about changing the direction of your life. Leave a comment below and tell us which habit you think is holding you back. And most importantly, click the link in the pinned comment. It leads to a powerful opportunity, a proven system that has already helped thousands transform their finances, mindset, and daily life. Don't just watch, commit. The truly wealthy don't waste their time explaining themselves to people who don't understand their vision. They don't argue with strangers on the internet. They don't drown in distractions, pretending it's research. What they've mastered is the art of restraint. And in a world that celebrates noise, restraint is the ultimate power move. Resisting the urge to always be seen, to constantly be right, to chase every trend, is what allows them to dominate in silence, while others are busy proving they're busy improving. That's the game. They don't chase status symbols to impress people who don't matter, because real wealth doesn't scream, it whispers. The millionaire next door isn't driving a flashy car or flaunting their watch. They've outgrown the need for external validation. That doesn't mean they don't enjoy nice things. They do. But their purchases are intentional, not performative. While most people burn through money to look rich, the wealthy stack theirs in silence to stay rich. They don't rely on motivation, because motivation is like caffeine. It wears off. The rich build systems. They automate smart decisions. They know the human brain is wired for comfort and shortcuts, so they create environments where discipline wins, even when willpower fails. From how they manage time to how they manage teams, it's all by design, not emotion. This is what separates temporary success from legacy. They don't surround themselves with victims. The richest people on earth curate their circles like they curate their portfolios, carefully, ruthlessly. They understand that mindset is contagious, and negativity spreads faster than a virus. They don't entertain excuses, gossip, or entitlement. They're not heartless. They're focused. Every conversation either fuels their mission or distracts from it. And they've learned the power of saying no, because every yes to nonsense is a no to greatness. They don't overcome. Simplicity is their weapon. In business, in finances, in routines. They know that complexity is the enemy of execution. While others are stuck in analysis paralysis, the wealthy act with clarity. They don't need 50 productivity apps. They need a clear plan and ruthless consistency. The flashiest strategy is useless without action. That's why simplicity wins. They don't believe they've made it, ever. Even after millions are earned, companies are built, and goals are crushed, the wealthiest people stay hungry. Because the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop growing. They live in a state of controlled dissatisfaction, grateful, but never complacent. They understand that comfort is the enemy of progress, and the second you get too comfortable, you're already behind. And that's exactly where most people get it wrong. They chase comfort like it's the goal. They think the rich must be relaxing, vacationing, doing nothing. But what they don't see is that those vacations are earned. That freedom is a product of structure. That luxury is built on discipline. And if you want that life, if you want that freedom, you have to be willing to give up the habits that make you feel good temporarily and build the ones that actually move the needle. So ask yourself, what are you doing today that the version of you you're trying to become would never tolerate? What are you allowing in your life that's keeping you broke, stuck, unfocused? You already know the answers. You don't need more information. You need brutal honesty. And then you need action. If this message speaks to you, don't let it stop at inspiration. Subscribe for more straight talk on wealth and winning. Leave a like to support this mission. Comment below and declare one habit you're cutting off, starting now. And above all, click the link in the pinned comment. Because real change starts with a real decision. Let this be yours.